Making My Way by Dragoness Bahamut. I was still woozy when I got back home. I ended up in the family room. There were Brock, Richie, Misty, and Billy, all watching TV. Brock was the first to notice me because he was the closest. Hey guys! Ash is back, he announced. They all turned to see me and waved to say hi. Thanks guys, but if you don't mind, I think I'll be going now. What's the hurry? Billy asked. I'm not feeling all that good. I'll be okay though, just need a little rest. I walked towards the stairs. I didn't feel like floating or teleporting. Brock looked down at Persian. Whoa, what happened to your paw? Oh, that? Just a red badge of pest control. I was getting to the top of the stairs. Slowly but surely, Pikachu came with me. You need that bandaged up, Brock told Persian. Hold still. I stopped on the last step. What's wrong? Said Pikachu. Brock's gonna get scratched. How do you know that? I looked back at the two of them down there. Brock was holding the distrusting Persian's paw and attempting to place a few drops of disinfectant on it. When he did get them on Persian, it howled and screeched, then swiped at Brock with its free paw. It hit Brock's arm, causing him to let go. Persian then ran off to a corner of the room and began licking its stinging paw. Told ya. I jumped off the stairs and landed somewhat gracefully. Okay, so I stumbled a little. And I ran over to Persian. Stupid human, Persian muttered. Brock was just trying to help. Maybe, but that hurt worse than the little pest's bite. It was just disinfectant. It'll make your paw better in the end. I don't need it. No rat's ever wounded me before. That pest isn't any different. But Persian, no buts about it. It isn't a major wound. I'll be just fine. It continued licking its paw, and I knew that was the end of that. I looked over at Brock. He was using the disinfectant on himself now. I couldn't help but laugh a little. You okay, Brock? I asked. Yeah, I'm fine, he replied. It's just a scratch. And I just have a little bite, said Persian. I sighed. Fine, no one's gonna make you try to heal your wound. That's good, although it's not a wound and it doesn't need healing. Whatever you say. I headed for my room to get the rest I'd been planning on in the first place. Ashra, I thought you said you weren't going to bother me like this anymore. I never actually said that. Besides, I have something I want to tell you. Like what? Ashra, have you ever heard the story of the Dark Mew? Nope. Then I guess this means I will have to tell you. Go for it. I don't have anything better to do anyway. Alright. This is a story that has been passed down through the generations of Mews, and even the ancient humans. Oh, so you're finally admitting that we're the same? Shut up and let me finish. Jeez, sorry. As I was saying, back in the time when Mews and humans still kept in contact with each other, the Mews began to notice that over time, their numbers were decreasing. Humans were becoming cruel, and they gradually stopped evolving. I was one of the last to evolve, so this story is old, even for me. After we saw the unchangeable direction that the humans were headed, we separated completely from the humans and devoted our lives to helping other, less fortunate Pokemon, and not to interfere with the lives of the humans. A short time after our split, some of the older Mews began to have visions or foretellings of a time in the far distant future when humans have forgotten about us and their connection to Pokemon. They warned us of a time of great conflict between good and evil. From the midst of that evil would come a Mew more powerful than any Pokemon and even Mew in existence. With nothing but hatred in its heart, it will create a storm unlike any other. This storm will destroy the world, leaving nothing to be mercied by this unfeeling being. We call this Mew the Dark Mew, the last Mew to come into existence. The Dark Mew will destroy all humans and the Pokemon most loyal to them, leaving the rest of the world in a crumbling state where next to nothing can survive. And you thought this guy was me? They said the Dark Mew could only be stopped by a pure one. We thought they meant a Mew. That's why I've been watching you. I hope that maybe I could stop you from doing all those terrible things. But I would never do those things in the first place. Yes, but they said it would be the last Mew to come into existence. You don't think there will be another human who will evolve, do you? How would I know? Ashra, no matter what, I know that you are not the Dark Mew. You may be very different from the rest of us, but maybe it's just because you're from a different time period. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? I don't know what everyone else will still think about this, but I'm going to leave you alone from now on, Ashra. You may do things differently, and you may be breaking the oath that we made so many centuries ago, but you're still helping Pokemon that need help. I'm not going to try to stop you. Thanks, Nikiro. Goodbye, Ash. Ring, ring, ring! Ring, ring, ring! Phone call! Phone call! Ring, ring! Hello? I made myself wake up all the way. It was dark, and I could feel Pikachu, Persian, and Richie already fast asleep. Not too many people would call at this time. Delilah, did Ash make it home? Giovanni, I thought I told you that I didn't want to speak to you again. Did she really just say that? I teleported myself so I was just outside her room. She had a phone in there. The door was closed, but I could still hear everything clearly. Delilah, I'm truly sorry. I never thought... Well, maybe you should have. No, Giovanni. It's over. What you did was unforgivable. I want you to stay away from us. Is that clear? Did Ash make it home? It's not any of your business, but yes, he did make it home in one piece. Now goodbye, Giovanni. Please, wait, Delilah. Please. Goodbye, Giovanni. What? His voice was cut off by the click of the phone being placed on the hook. Even I winced. I never knew Mom could be so cold. I have to talk to her now. I knocked on the door and let myself in. Mom? She jumped in surprise. Ash, what are you doing here? You should be asleep. I heard the phone ring. You've been awake that long? I nodded. Her gaze dropped to the floor in front of her. Ash, you don't have to worry about him anymore. He won't be bothering us. Oh. Ash, go to bed. I have a lot to think about. By myself. I fidgeted. I didn't want to leave her alone like that. After all, I thought that they... Ash, go to bed. Please. If you ever need to talk to me, I'll listen. I backed out the way I'd come in and walked back to my room, a little frightened. It was usually Mom who comforted me, not the other way around. I wasn't sure what to make of everything. I went inside my room, closed the door, and curled up under my blanket on my makeshift bed. Pikachu, Persian, and Richie were still sleeping soundly, completely oblivious to what had just happened. I tried to sleep, but sleep wouldn't come. I felt that something big was happening, and I didn't even know what it was.